Good morning, everyone. If I sound a bit rough, it's because I've pretty much just woken up. Sorry about that. It's probably around 5 a.m. Still pitch black. Don't know what's going on there. Didn't think I was going to get to sleep last night because there was some pretty strange noises going on outside, and I was just paranoid about bears. But it didn't prove to be an issue in the end. Got off to sleep nicely and don't think that I woke up at all during the night. It was extremely restful. 37.5 miles yesterday, which was, I think, my biggest day so far on trail. And if there'd have been a campsite in another 2.5 or 3 miles, I'm pretty sure I would have had the energy to get to it. So I think at some point during the hike, a 40-mile day is on. I would hope, anyway. But today, I don't need to do that. I just need to get to just over the 30-mile mark, hopefully. I think we've got to get to a little place called Castella today, and I believe there's a bit of a detour around it for some reason, like a little road walk, I think. So we'll deal with that when we get to it. But right now, it's coffee time and breakfast biscuit time. There is so much life in this forest, it's crazy. It's just after 6 a.m, I've not been going too long, maybe half a mile or so. I've seen 2 deer already, heard several others crashing through the undergrowth on the banks either side of me. I've heard woodpeckers, so many different bird calls. It's just so nice to be walking through at this time of the morning. If it was this temperature all day long, oh man, it'd be such a pleasure. I mean, it's a pleasure anyway, but in the heat it can get a little bit difficult. This is just beautiful. And some of these trees, the way they just go, they're just dead straight, and they just seem to tower. I can't understand how they manage to stay rooted with that amount of weight. Well, this is the water source I was contemplating coming down to camping at last night, and by the looks of things, I'm pretty glad that I didn't. It's hidden right down in the valley. You might just be able to make out a very pretty waterfall down there. But I actually don't need it this morning. I thought I would need it, but I've still got well over a litre on me, and the next source is in 3.3 miles, and it's flowing right across the trail. So, oh wow, yeah, I would never ever have fit my tent in there if that's the only camping spot. That's tiny. You'd be hard pushed to get a 1-person tent in there, never mind my huge 2-person. It's a really pretty little stream there, really nice. All these huge fronds, if that's what you call them. There you go, a nice rocky waterfall just down there. So when I looked at the app this morning, my brain saw the downhill. It neglected to process the 2,000 foot climb that I had to do. That was coming up pretty quickly. And let me tell you, it's pretty steep and it's hard work. So I think I'm somewhere near the top of the climb. It's been the steepest one for quite a while. I would say maybe a week or so. It's just nice that it was in the shade. Still sweating like mad, but it's brought you out into a clearing and we've got an absolutely beautiful view of Shasta again. I do apologise for all the Shasta content. I should maybe put a warning on the videos. Gratuitous Shasta content. But like I said yesterday, it is just a very photogenic mountain. There's something about it. And you can maybe make out just to the left of the main peak, there's like another cone. It looks like a cinder cone with another little cone inside it. I didn't notice that from the other side, so it's nice to see it from different angles, different perspectives. I just put the camera away and I was just checking to see if I had service with my phone, and when I looked up, right where you can see the sunlight starting to hit the trail in the centre of the screen, there was a bear. My first bear on trail. It's a brown one. And it just turned and ran. I think it went off up the slope to my left. Well, when the trees clear, there are some nice views in this section. Still got Shasta there just peeping through the trees. And I think this rocky section here may well be Castle Crags Wilderness, which I'm headed into in the next few days. A very big thank you and shout to Kenneth B on Buy Me a Coffee. Don't worry, Ken, I know you've been watching videos. We've all got life that we need to get on with. Don't worry about not seeing some or not being able to watch some for a while. It's just good that you've been watching some, and really appreciate the support and the comments. Thank you. And to Jeff and Sandra Q. Thank you, guys. That's really nice of you for your support on Buy Me a Coffee. I will no doubt be getting myself a big fat root beer when I get to. I'm hoping I'm going to make it to the gas station at Castella today. So, yeah. Well, it's around 10:30 a.m. and I've just been looking at the app, trying to figure out. There's basically a detour around Castella. There's only a small portion of the trail shut off, and annoyingly, it's expected to open in about 3 days. Again, as far as I'm aware, it is still shut off, and you have to take a road walk detour. I'm not quite certain of the length of the detour or whereabouts it is. I'm sure it'll be signed when I get there, though. You are joining me, I would hope, about 3/4 of the way down what has been an absolutely huge descent. It's been really gradual and so it's just taken absolutely ages to get down. Well, I'm on the bridge over Soda Creek, I believe. Very picturesque, isn't it? It's beautiful. A day like this, it's absolutely gorgeous. That's a wide creek as well. There was a trail angel just pulled up at the trailhead asking if I wanted to ride anywhere. I said no, I'm just going to Castella, but thank you very much. So this is where I need to detour off the road and basically do a road walk near the freeway to get to the store. Well, I've finally reached Castella. That's the post office, the USPS, and here is Emirati's market. It's about 5 to 2 and it's scorching hot and my legs ache a large amount. It's all going to be taken care of in a minute, hopefully, when I get inside and get myself some refreshments, which I'm very much looking forward to, and then find somewhere shady to sit and eat them. Well, it's about 3 p.m, just after. And if this first bit of ascent is anything to go by, this isn't going to be very pleasant. Whose bright idea was this? So I'm coming up, I think this is the detour. I think there's several different ones you could take, but this seems to be the one that looks about the clearest. It's called Bob's Hat Road, I think, or Bob's Hat Trail, something like that. And it's just basically a really steep and windy dirt road. And I'm not even exaggerating when I'm saying that sweat is literally just running off me. It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, it's not like I smell good anyway, but it's that hot that even my elbows and kneecaps are sweating. That's how bad it is. It's crazy. Welcome back to the PCT, ladies and gentlemen. I'm now back officially on the trail, having left the stairway to heaven. Right, I'm trying to remember where I am. I am just past mile 1505. Oh yeah, that happened earlier. I passed mile marker 1500. So it feels at the moment like I am destroying Northern California. I think maybe today Northern California's destroyed me, but never mind. If we count in PCT miles, my mileage for today is so far is 24.5. In reality, it's going to be a little bit more than that because the detour is kind of a roundabout rather than direct. So I would guess you could maybe add a couple of miles onto that at the very most. But with it being 24.5, I still stand a chance of getting over a 30 today. It's just going to take a lot of sweat and work, that's all. The water that I collected in the campground from the spigot, or the tap, tastes of sulphur quite strongly. So I didn't treat it because usually when it comes out the spigot, it's all right to drink unless there's like a sign on it saying not possible, and there wasn't. So I assumed it was okay to drink straight from the tap. There is a creek or a river or something in a couple of miles. I don't know, I might swap my water out, I don't know. Oh, dry mouth, need a drink. See you shortly. Well, I've got a long way to go to get to the top, and I very much doubt that I'll be getting there tonight. But whenever I do get there, I am almost certain there is going to be a spectacular view from the top of these rocks, because, well, it just looks beautiful from down here, looking up at the crags. I can imagine there are going to be one or two nice campsites up here. It's almost 25 past 5. I've officially entered the Castle Crags Wilderness area. I did pass the wooden sign a little ways ago now. I've just stopped back there at the East Fork, weirdly enough, of the Sulphur Creek. And I've just tipped out all of my water that I carried up the hill from the campground, because it just tasted absolutely disgusting, even with an electrolyte in. And the LMNT electrolytes are pretty strong tasting. Even with one of those in, all I could taste was sulphur, and it really was not very nice. And I think it was kind of like making my mouth feel really dry. And so tipped it all out and just refiltered another 2 litres of water. So yeah, even though it's called the Sulphur Creek, the water does taste nice and crisp and clear. Much more refreshing than warm sulphur water. That was a rattlesnake just under a bush at the side of the trail. I didn't expect it to be there. I thought it'd be too little. Wrong time of day for them. But it's only a small one. Quite a loud rattle though, thank goodness. I assume the guy in front of me, there's one guy I've seen that's slightly in front of me. I assume he might have disturbed it, and it's crawled off under a bush. It's sulking. I think there's a saying where something about first person disturbs it, second person annoys it, third person gets bitten by it. So I hope there's no one behind me. Plus, I've also just seen this tiny little owl. It can't have been more than, I would say, 3 inches tall, 4 inches at the very, very most. I just saw it fly down from a tree, pick something up off the ground and fly back into the tree. And luckily, just before it took off again, I managed to get one sort of semi-decent picture of it. So I'll try and dig it out and put it up on the screen. And if anyone knows what it is, I'd love to know. I'm not sure if it's like, I'm guessing it's just like some sort of young owl. I don't know if there's any sort of pygmy owls or tiny owls. I've got no idea. But real cute little thing. Like I say, no more than 3 or 4 inches tall at the very most. Can't believe I saw it, to be honest with you. And I can't believe it stayed still long enough for me to get a picture of it. Well, there is a bit of water here at this creek, but I don't need any at the moment. I've still got an absolute ton on me. And it's maybe a good job as well, because this creek is called, wait for it, Burst Ass Creek. And I'm not even kidding you either. There's a wooden sign that's been eaten by the tree. I'll try and put that photograph up because it's actually quite a good picture. And then yeah, it's labelled as Burst Ass Creek on the app as well. So very lovely. Someone's been having fun naming that one. Would you look at that, guys? That is stunning. after all these days of forests, you come and you get a view like that of these beautiful, I think the granite peaks. That's really, really spectacular. Wow. I've just been looking at the app to see what it says about tent sites near the top. There's a few scattered around. I think they're going to be highly contested, mainly because we're so close to Mount Shasta, the town. So a lot of people kind of get back on trail, maybe midday, maybe a little later, with the intention of just getting to the top of this climb, which is where a couple of the campsites are. Well, this is mile 1514 and it is 7:15 p.m. I've still got some daylight left, I've still got some climb left, but you can already see the view is improving. I am somewhere around 34 miles for the day at the moment, so the next campsite is at least 1.5 miles, so it's going to be another 35-mile day by the looks of things. The only difference being that this has included one gigantic amount of elevation change. I'm sorry I've been that obsessed with getting to the water source. I just completely forgot to film anything. That's pretty much it. I've just seen Tyler. He had himself a beautiful spot on some rocks. Said he'd been waiting there for a few hours for sunset, and it did look like a real nice spot as well. He was all ready for cowboy camping. And then we've got, well, this is kind of the view he was looking at. This is what he's probably going to be seeing from where he is. And you've got Castle Crags just sneaking underneath that tree there. I'm bending right down and hoping nothing snaps. Boy, it's been a long old day today. I'm not too sure what's going to happen about campsites. I've just passed one and there was a lot of spaces listed there. There was also a lot of tents. So there's still some footprints, looks like pretty fresh footprints in the dirt in front of me. So I'm going to guess there's a good amount of people in front of me as well. I guess I get some water first, which will be about 0.2 miles, and then take it from there, but it is starting to get late now. I think it's probably well after 8 o'clock, probably something like 20 past. You can see I've still got some climb to go as well. Well, that didn't work out too well. So I got up the climb. Obviously I saw Tyler, spoke to him, got up the climb, got my water, and basically every tent site that I came across was fully occupied. There's not a great deal of tent sites, but there was probably a good 4 of them that could fit 3 or 4 tents on each one. They were all full. There must have been a lot of people in Shasta that have come out today. So basically I had no choice but to just put the head torch on and just keep walking. Now, there's quite a nice campsite where I am. All the spaces were taken. I knew there would be, because it's like an awesome view of Mount Shasta from here. And it was like pitch black when I turned up there, and I was shining the head torch around. There was a few people still awake, but I don't like doing that. It's not nice. And I just looked to the right, and there was like a slope going up, and I thought, right, next tent site's like another 3 miles. I'll just have a look up here before I move on. And I came across one tent site just up the slope that would have been great for a one-person tent, but not mine. And I was like, oh no. And then I came across this site where I am now, and I was like, that's going to be touch and go whether I can get my tent in there, but I'm going to give it a try. And I did it. It fit. Had to move a few rocks and squeeze, basically, but it's in. And I should have a fantastic view of Shasta in the morning. And even tonight, hopefully for some star pictures. Also, this is my first 40-mile day on trail. I didn't think I was going to hit it, but I did. I actually felt alright right up until the end. When I got to this tent site, I think it was just my legs saying, like, right, you're here, just find somewhere to put your tent. But yeah, 40 miles. Pretty pleased. I needed a big day to make it so that I had a chance of getting to Etna on Thursday with some time to spare. And it looks like this has been the big day today. So I need to have a little workout of mileage left. But I think I might be able to do it. Anyway, it's about 10 p.m. I've not eaten anything since lunchtime, so I'm going to eat something now and have a cup of tea, and then I'm going to bed. And then I'm going to get up in about 5 or 6 hours and start walking again. Love it. Good night, guys.